Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to this week's episode of Dear Nero, the somewhat weekly Q&A here on the channel, where subscribers send in questions, and I answer them. This week, we're doing something a little bit special. We're bringing my brother back on, because these videos are a lot more fun to do with my brother, and you guys seem to enjoy them as well, so why not just go ahead and do another episode with dear old Justin here. Justin, say hello. How are you doing?
Hey, hi, how's it going?
Hey, so, just like every episode that you've been on, you got all the questions off Twitter. I mean, I put out the tweet, but I have not read through any of the questions whatsoever. I'm going to be blindsided by them, and you're the one that picked them all. So let's just go ahead and jump right into the first one.
So the first question is just one that a ton of people ask, so I felt like I had to include it. Nobody in specific asked this. It was like, I think at least 11 people.
Okay.
So it is a question from everyone, and that is, what do you think about Microsoft acquiring Activision? And also, do you think that Microsoft will continue skill-based matchmaking?
So I already did a video on this. I'm interested to hear what you think of it, and then I'll kind of reiterate what I said in my video.
So, I don't know a ton about everything that went on. I know that Microsoft acquired Activision, but apparently they're keeping Bobby Kotick on the payroll.
Only for a little bit. Only until June 2023. Like, when the deal goes through, Bobby Kotick is no longer CEO.
Which makes me wonder if he's going to just do stuff out of spite and try and ruin the company beforehand.
I mean, probably not, because the company's already... how much worse can it get? In all reality. I mean, they're unionizing. There's all sorts of protests and stuff happening. Walkouts, even. The company is, like, literally on fire all the time. I don't know how much worse it could possibly be. And they were supposed to have an investors report here a couple days ago, but they declined to do that because of their acquisition, which a lot of people are like, they just don't want to talk about how bad Vanguard is. But apparently people are like much more familiar with how acquisitions work and how like investor reports work is during an acquisition, they're not going to release like too much information about their financial status because it's part of the acquisition. I don't know. I know nothing about that aspect of it, man. I'm just a Call of Duty YouTuber that plays video games, man. Like I am not like an expert when it comes to this stuff. So apparently it's actually pretty commonplace during an acquisition for them not to do like a big investors report like they normally do. Those investor reports are typically filled with lots of good information. Typically, they start teasing the next Call of Duty. Typically, they talk about like how sales are going, whether it's good or bad. Battlefield just did theirs, or EA rather, just did theirs, and they're like, yeah, so Battlefield 2042 did not meet expectations. Internally...
No, you don't say.
No, they actually said this. Internally, we believe that the game was ready, but our community disagrees. And I don't know if you heard this, they delayed Season 1 for Battlefield 2042 until summer.
No. Oh.
Season 1 comes out in summer, like late June, early July.
in video game speak, Season 1 at this point, for like FPS games and stuff, Season 1 just basically means like the full release.
Yeah.
Like, until then, it's almost in beta mode.
Well, except in the case of Vanguard, but yeah. Season 3 will probably be the launch of Vanguard, if I had to guess. But to go back on it, Microsoft acquiring Activision, I think it's a good thing in general. I think a regime change within Activision is a good thing. Skill-based matchmaking is certainly going to stick around. I do not expect that to go anywhere anytime soon. They've confirmed that they're making like at least they're going to be releasing like the next 3 CODs on PlayStation. That's like already confirmed, but we don't know if eventually they're going to be like, yo, COD's an Xbox and PC thing. I doubt they'll ever do that. But the big question for me and for a lot of people is, will they finally do away with annual releases? Now that, Activision Blizzard themselves are not calling the shots and rather Microsoft is, will Microsoft be that company that's like, all right, we're going to delay COD here because this is getting ridiculous?
They might attempt it because obviously if COD fails, Microsoft itself is not going to fail. Microsoft is still going to be one of the, if not the top gaming studio out there, even if Call of Duty dies off into obscurity. Obviously, they want money from Call of Duty. They want money from their acquisition. They invested
$70 billion with a B.
Yeah, they invested a lot of money into it, but
they're not going to make that back in a year, though. They're not going to make all that money back this year, right? This is like a long plan for them. This is a long-term plan for them, and I think it's smart investing in games like Call of Duty, some of the most like prominent franchises and like long-standing franchises like Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo. It's a newer IP, although it's not really that new anymore. It seems new, but Overwatch, Overwatch 2 is coming. The Overwatch League is still a thing. Like there's a lot of money to be had there. And these are some of the biggest, most beloved gaming franchises out there, and they've all been kind of run to the ground as of late. Overwatch 2 keeps getting delayed, and even if it wasn't delayed, it's still literally the same game. COD is horrible every single year, at least at launch, and then it gets better, and by the time the game actually feels decent, it's time for the next one. World of Warcraft Shadowlands expansion was horrible. I don't think anyone's overly happy with it, and it's because they had to rush it out because of Activision. The new Diablo, whenever that comes out, that'll be sick, probably. I don't know much about StarCraft.
We're hoping.
Yeah, I think we're all hoping. I think it'll be pretty fun. Like, I'm excited for that, but skill-based matchmaking, I think, is definitely going to stick around, and will COD get better as a result? I guess we'll see. I mean, it's anyone's guess. It could be more the same.
For years.
The one thing, before we go on to the next question, the one thing I always point to, though, people are like, oh, COD's been bad for so long. It's been so bad for so long. We did have what I consider to be like a renaissance period there with Modern Warfare Remastered, World War II, and then Black Ops 4. All three of those games were awesome, in my opinion, and they were super fun. And after that, games have not been nearly as good. Black Ops Cold War was okay, but it had way too many issues, mostly because Treyarch had to take over for Sledgehammer and Raven, and they were forced to make the game in like 9 months, and like, you know, if they get rid of the annual release cycle, I think COD would be right back on the gravy train. I think things would just be amazing. But we'll have to wait and see if that ever actually happens again. Because right now, the next game is going to be another Modern Warfare game. And so far, the leaks and rumors are suggesting that it's going to be very similar to Modern Warfare 2019, which is not something I'm excited for. I'm already mentally and like physically preparing for like retrospective content on older CODs all throughout next year, because I'll cover the alpha, I'll cover the beta, I'll cover the launch, but if the game is like Modern Warfare 2019, I'm not going to stick with it. And
make an entire video counting the amount of doors on each map.
I actually love that idea. I had to add up the chat. Like, if you want to get Damascus camo, I actually added it up, but I forget what it is. These are rough numbers. To get Damascus, which is like the Modern Warfare Dark Matter, you had to get something close. I'm just making up numbers, like 3,500 kills while leaning and 2,500 kills while crouched, or something like that. It was so stupid.
Top tier gameplay.
Oh, it's horrible. So bad. But what's the next question?
All right, next question comes from Jam Toast.
What a name.
4. Yeah, spelled with a 4 on Twitter, and he asks, Dear Nero, do you think you'll ever have a kid? I just became a father, and it's the best dang thing. I also love your videos.
Aw. Well, do I ever have a kid? I'm 30 now, still childless. Courtney and I have talked about it quite a bit, and I think we're both in the boat of if it happens, it happens. She very much did want a second child for a while, but now she's kind of like, I don't know, went back on that a little bit. Not that she's like, oh, I don't want a kid, but she's not like as like amped up for another child, I guess. I think the big thing is like, you know, once we actually move in together and stuff like that, and then live together for a while and then get married and stuff like that, then, you know, maybe we try for a child. But also, you know, if she's 32 and I'm 30, we don't have a massive window to have our own kids. So at this point, I think I would like my own kid, but right now we're just kind of like, if it happens, it happens.
To be clear for the people who don't know, she already does have a child. How old is her child again?
6, gonna be 7 this weekend.
Yeah. So having another one is definitely something you have to plan for. It sucks because it's not just something to mentally prepare for, or like, oh, do I really want to do this? It comes down to financial aspects as well.
Yeah.
You know, can you afford another child?
Yeah,
do you have room for another child?
So I wish a lot of people actually kind of took that into consideration before they had kids.
No. They're
Can I financially afford this? It's like, nah, let's go.
No. We can't afford condoms. We can't.
I was about to make the same joke. You can't afford condoms, but you think you can afford a kid. All right. What about you?
Myself?
Yeah, I'm saying, what about you, sir?
For myself, I have planned in the past on having children. Still plan on having children in the future. I have no idea when that's going to happen. We currently own our house. We're paying a mortgage, my wife and I. And we honestly want a bigger house before we get a child, have a child. I
feel like your house is fine for one kid, but 2 kids would not be, you know, a lot of space. Same with my house, though, honestly. Like, you know, 2 kids running around, there's not a massive amount of space in my house, you know.
There's not a ton of, I mean, downstairs, I feel like there's a bunch of space. We have a 2-story house, and we have 3 bedrooms upstairs. And that sounds big, but it's not as big as you would think, because each bedroom is pretty small. Yeah. And one of the bedrooms is taken up by my game room, which I would either have to, you know, give up eventually, which I'd rather not do.
Absolutely not. They can sleep in the basement.
Of course. Exactly. And Then the other bedroom obviously is our bedroom, and then we have a second room. The last room, the third room, is kind of just like it's where we keep all of our stuff. And I have no idea what we would do if we had to get rid of that room to make room for a child, because we have a lot of stuff in that room.
You get on the same route that we're going, pretty much, where you can just you have a lot of unused space in your backyard. You could just do an extension off the living room.
We don't have a giant backyard, though. I feel like if I'm going to have a child, I would like a decent sized backyard as well.
Extend it from this is like the worst like radio ever, because people can't picture your house. But if you extend it literally off the side of your living room, going all the way back to your back fence, you still have that side yard there next to your walkway, which is fine enough. And then
I can't play catch with the boy in that small of a yard. Come on.
Sure you can. We also live right next to a park. What do you mean? I live right down the road. You could use my yard. But that's what we're gonna have to do when Courtney moves in. There's only technically 2 bedrooms here, because the person that lived here previously, I don't know what they were thinking. They took one of the bedrooms and made it a giant bathroom. My bathroom is massive. Like, my bathroom is the size of a normal bedroom, and there's nothing in there besides a sink. And then off the side of the bathroom is like where the actual shower and toilet and stuff are. It's a really weird bathroom.
Huge but weird.
Yeah, but so as a result, there's like, I have no need for a bathroom that big. But part of that is when they move in, we're going to have to build an extension off the back of my house so I can have an office downstairs. And then my current office will become her daughter's room. And then obviously my room will be our room, and then we'll be good. But if we do decide to have a child and a child appears in our lives, then are they both going to be fitting in this room? I doubt that. We have to do another extension. I don't know. When I bought this house, I was not planning on being like the family man. At the time, I was like a 25-year-old dude. I was like doing well on YouTube. I'm like, I would like to buy a house because I have the money to do so right now, and paying rent is for suckers. And so I got the house, and it was cool. It had fit all my needs, but it does not really fit the needs of like a family of 4. So yeah, we'll have to cross all those bridges when we get to it. But I think a little me running around would be cool, boy or girl. I think I'm leaning towards girl. I don't know why, but then again, having like a little me running around like a little guy, a little boy would be pretty fun.
I cannot disagree more.
You want a little girl? Or
just a little you.
You think having another Joe in the world's a bad thing?
I'm not saying that it would be or it wouldn't be.
Come on, little Joe Cinema, my legacy.
Continuing Not Joe Cinema.
Little Joey Cinema, continuing my legacy on YouTube after I pass.
You gonna name him Nero?
It'll be the year but it'll be like the year 2062, and little NerosCinema Jr. will be sitting here. Can you guys believe what Microsoft did today? Ain't that some shit?
Bobby Kotick Jr. over here.
Bobby Kotick Jr. is taking over in the new acquisition. My dad told me all about his dad. Let me tell you.
My dad kicked his dad's ass.
If he wasn't dead, therefore I'm running the YouTube channel.
Oh god. All right, next question. Next question comes in from M. Rodriguez on Twitter, and he asks, "Dear Nero, what are your predictions for the Super Bowl? Are you rooting for either team?"
I'm not particularly rooting for either team, honestly. Part of me is like AFC North, like the Bengals are like the rivals of the Browns. Well, not really. It's more Pittsburgh and Baltimore are the rivals, but Cincinnati and Cleveland are in the same state. Part of me wants the Bengals to win because, it brings more validity to the AFC North, makes the AFC North more competitive, makes football more interesting for my division, and also Bengals fans have suffered for a very long time. But then another part of me is like, I think I am going Bengals because fuck Los Angeles. And they don't actually care about their football teams. They really don't. They have 2 of them. They couldn't care less, except for the fact they're in the Super Bowl. But Matt Stafford, being on the Detroit Lions for so long, just suffering with the Lions for like a decade, and then he finally gets traded away after all these years, and the very first year on a brand new team, he leads them to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's a cool story. So I could honestly go for either, but I'm going to lean towards Bengals. But Tim the Tatman tweeted that the Rams are going to win, so therefore Bengals are going to definitely walk home champions.
Well, now for those of you who are tired of the gross football talk, let's get to the thing that people actually care about, and that is the halftime show. Did you hear about the halftime show?
No.
Supposed to be featuring Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, and Dr. Dre.
Well, that sounds okay, but I would much rather have Ninja be there so that the entire stadium can floss with him, and then COVID can finally end. Because that's the reason why COVID's a thing. No one flossed with Ninja on New Year's Eve, and then COVID happened right after. Honestly, I think COVID-19 was made by Ninja to get people to be forced to stay inside and watch his streams and stuff like that.
We've talked about this on stream before. Ninja caused COVID.
That's my yeah. If everyone would have followed him, it would have been fine.
You're not excited to see old Eminem at the Super Bowl halftime show.
Could not
Snoop
possibly
Dogg,
care less.
Dr. Dre.
Could not care less.
We grew up with these people.
I do not care. Unless the halftime show is like Lucero, then I just don't care.
You're no fun.
Okay, I'm no fun.
Talk for hours about football, but
okay, I'm no fun. When's the last time you just went on the old YouTubes and typed in like an Eminem concert and just watched it for fun?
I don't watch an Eminem concert.
Man's got thousands of them on YouTube, I'm sure.
Show.
Okay, sure.
Everybody watches that.
But why are you excited about that particular concert? That's all it is at the end of the day. It's just going to be a show.
Because I actually know the people in it. It's not like the fucking Weeknd. Like, I think that's what it was last year, the Weeknd. I know nothing about the Weeknd. I care less about the Weeknd.
Okay, then why don't you just go watch like a Dr. Dre or Eminem? I mean, they've done plenty of collaborations. Why don't you just go watch a concert of them on YouTube? Boy, because you don't actually care. That's why. So why are you acting like you care about this?
Because it's the Super Bowl. It's different.
I don't even watch the Super Bowl most years.
It's going to be talked about. It's going to be talked about for years to come.
You're just trying to fit in. You're trying to be hip.
It's going to be talked about for years to come when Eminem slips a titty at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that might happen. Miley Cyrus lost it on New Year's Eve.
All right. Next question comes from Grant Walker on Twitter, and that is, Dear Nero. Actually, going off from the next question, Dear Nero, what kind of music did you guys grow up with? And did you guys like Green Day specifically?
I'll answer quick. I grew up with mostly just country and classic rock. That's what my parents listened to. And over time that evolved into like other things, like back in the 90s and stuff like that, like just talking about Eminem and stuff like that. Like when Eminem was blowing up, we got the Eminem CDs because they swore in there and stuff like that. But in general, I wasn't really that massive into music growing up. I'm much more into music these days. And I think as I'm older, as I get older, I appreciate older music better, I suppose. Lots of jazz, lots of swing, and lots of old soul music and stuff like that, as well as alternative country, which would be like bands like Lucero and Lost Dog Street Band and stuff like that. It's good stuff. Meanwhile, you're over here, yo, Kendrick Lamar, let's go.
Lamar. What's wrong with Kendrick?
I can't name a single song by him.
You can't even name a song by Kendrick.
I can't name a single album by Eminem since like the Marshall Mathers LP either. So,
for myself, same thing obviously as him. We grew up with the same music. I, however, had a love for music throughout my entire life, but it was more
nerd.
What?
Go on.
It was more along the lines when I was a teenager. I was that little emo kid listening to bands like Green Day, as mentioned in the question. Green Day, Pierce the Veil. My current favorite band is called Dance Gavin Dance, which is very similar. All very similar genres. Metal, very metal, pop, punk music, stuff like that.
I'm picturing people from these bands. All right, tell me where I lose you. Every single one of them, skin tight black pants.
Wrong.
Skin tight black pants with a cut off shirt, very skinny arms covered in tattoos, pierced lips on both sides. What they call them, snake bites. And then you got your like long black, overly styled hair, like 5 pounds of gel holding it together with eyeliner on.
You're just describing Pete Wentz from Fall Out Boy.
I don't know who that is, but how close am I?
Not every emo singer is Pete Wentz, Joe.
I'm pretty sure they are. Who's the guy who? Danny Warsnop.
Danny Warsnop. Yeah.
He does not. What band was that?
That was Asking Alexandria.
He does not nowadays look like he used to be in a band like Asking Alexandria. He looks like a good old boy that'll be putting back Budweisers down to the American Legion nowadays.
Yeah, he grew up. He grew up. He got a beard and became a country singer. He's got
the dad bod now. And you go to the comments of like any of the videos, best damn something or other.
I forgot the name.
Oh my god. Best damn something I ever had. I can't forget the name of the song. But either way, the music video for that is all the people just like gushing over his dad bod now because all the people that listened to their music way back when are now also grown up. And so that they're like, yo, dad bod and beard? Ooh.
Name of the song is Best Bad Habit.
Best Bad Habit. There you go.
Yeah. Fantastic music video for anybody who just wants to see.
Oh, that video is actually just hilarious. Like that's how if I cooked, that's how I would cook.
But yeah, he was lead singer of Asking Alexandria. He did screaming. He did, harsh vocals and stuff like that. And now he's like a country singer. He's actually really good at it. He I guess grew up. If you go and look up old pictures of him, he is very, very, very original emo, with the long hair and the tattoos and the skinny jeans and all that. That's what he used to look like. But now he's completely different. Danny Worsnop, for anybody that wants to look that up. Next question from Doc Rigamortis on Twitter, which I think we've seen him in stream.
Great guy. He's been on stream all the time. He's a member on the YouTube channel. Great guy. Hell of a guy.
Yep. He asks, this is an interesting question. Dear Nero, have you or your brother had any paranormal experiences in your lives? I know living in Pennsylvania that there's a lot of history, and I was just wondering what your guys' thoughts on the subject were.
No, I don't think I have.
Yeah, it's such an interesting question, and I got nothing for you. I've not had any paranormal experiences, and I wish that I have. I wish that I had.
Same. Let's get morbid for a second. So, before our grandma died, she'd passed 15 years ago. I remember having a conversation with her about how she did believe in paranormal activity and stuff like that. Because she woke up one day and she could have sworn that she woke up in the middle of the night, and if I remember the story correctly, she heard her mother, who had been passed forever. She heard her mother in her backyard watering the plants back there. And Justin, you can picture our grandma and grandpa's room. There's that window right there that faces the backyard. So she looked out the window. She could have sworn she saw her mother walking and watering the flowers in the middle of the night.
Chalk up to a dream,
It could be chalked up to a dream, but she believed in it, and she firmly believed in it. Like, we had this long conversation at the dinner table about it when I was a kid. And sadly, I've always wished that anytime I went out there, because the house that she died in, she was on hospice for a while, I think. The house she died in, my granddad and my dad still live there. And so when we go out there and visit and stuff like that, I always kind of hope that there'll be some sort of a sign of her, because I dream about my grandma all the time.
That'd be cool.
I was describing my dreams the one day to Justin. He's like, you should see a therapist. Like, all my dreams take place in the house that either the house I grew up in, my grandmother's house, or like my elementary school. Like, all of my dreams are like super childhood focused and take place around there. But I've had so many dreams. It's recurring now, because like when it happens in my dream, like I'm like aware of it. I'm aware that it's happened before. My grandma's alive again in the dream, but no one else acknowledges the fact that she's been dead for so long. And things just go on as normal. That happens all the time in my dreams.
That's weird. Hey, maybe you should stay the night out there one of those nights. Maybe.
Oh, that'd be spooky.
Maybe you'd have a paranormal experience.
Maybe.
But yeah, I myself don't have any paranormal experiences. I wish I did. I would love to stay in like a haunted house for the night, like they do on those ghost hunting shows and whatnot, just because I would be really interested to see how that would feel. But I don't know if I myself even believe in paranormal stuff. I've never seen it. I'm the type of person who likes to see something that they believe in. But that's just me. I have heard lots of stuff from both my wife, my mom, lots of other people saying, oh, no, it's totally real. This happened, and I just never experienced it myself.
Me either. Wish I did.
Yeah, wish I did. But next question comes in from Nightmare90 on Twitter, and he asks, Dear Nero and his brother, what games are you most looking forward to this year?
The only game I'm aware of is Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Pretty much. I'm not looking forward to the next COD at all. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, hopefully that is actually good at launch. I mean, AAA games these days just aren't at launch, so I guess we'll see. That they didn't really have like a release schedule for this one as much as like the other games, though, so I guess we'll see. Hopefully it's good. They're doing some reveals of some of the classes. There's going to be like 7 different classes or something like that, so guess we'll see. Hopefully it's good.
Yeah, that was kind of what I assumed this question was going to be about, is Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. That's the main thing that I'm looking forward to. Couple other small mentions. Dying Light 2 is coming out soon. Dying Light 1 was amazing, and I cannot recommend enough that you play it if you ever have time for a single-player game.
Yeah.
Completely open-world parkour zombie game with a really good story. And it's the type of thing that I think you would really enjoy. Dying Light 2 coming out soon, and then what's the other one? Saints Row 2022 is coming out, which is apparently supposed to be like Saints Row completely reimagined. Nobody knows if it's going to be good or not, but I love the Saints Row games growing up, so I'm going to at least give it a try.
I just like running around with a purple dildo and killing people with it.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's not going to be that anymore. They're more woke now, which a lot of people are like, well, that's not what this game's about.
The game is the other ones were like the opposite of woke.
Yeah. So people are wondering how that's going to be, but they were always good to me. I always liked those games. They were like Grand Theft Auto, but more sandboxy, and I like that. They were video games that weren't afraid to be video games. They
More
weren't like,
cartoony, more over the top.
Yeah.
More, yeah.
Yeah, they weren't afraid to be unrealistic, and I like that. Something one game where they literally had superpowers. So I enjoyed that. And other people are like, well, that's stupid. It's not realistic. They went from a game about gangs and stuff like that to superpowers and being the president of the United States. I'm like, well, yeah, it's a video game. Like,
well, that's not realistic. There's an animated camo in my COD game.
Yeah. Yeah, and these are the same people that go and buy the anime camos on World War II. Yeah.
Meanwhile, their characters sprinting at like 20 miles an hour, chucking grenades 100 yards across the map, and yeah.
Yeah, those people.
Yeah, God's not realistic, people. It never will be.
All right, next question. This will be the last question for both of us, because there's one question after this, and it's just for you.
Oh.
Last question for both of us, and it is from a total dork, which we all know him. Great guy.
He's a total dork. He's a total dork.
He's on stream pretty much all the time. You'll always see him there.
Mm-hmm.
And he asks, fantastic question, Dear Nero, what's your favorite Pokemon that isn't from Gen 1?
That's hard.
I think I know your answer, but go on.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. I'm trying to think of some, because my mind does not really remember most of them. Galvantula and Joltik, and then Joltik, right? Joltik turns into Galvantula.
Yeah,
did I say those names right? Those are pretty damn cool.
Galvantula,
Galvantula, yeah. I mean, I forget what game that generation what generation that Pokemon came out, but I thought it was really neat. I'm like, oh, look, it's like this little electric tick. It's kind of cute. And it turns into an electric tarantula.
That does not sound cute to anybody who has never seen him. Yeah, it's a little electric tick. Yeah,
it's adorable. But then it becomes a big electric spider thing, and it's adorable. Yeah, it's adorable. I'm trying to think of other non-Gen 1 Pokemon.
That's not the one I thought you were going to say.
If you jog my memory here, I could tell you, but again, I'm blindsided by these questions, so I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head.
Chandelure.
Ah, shit. Yep. There you go. Yeah. Chandelure. Yeah, Chandelure is a fire ghost Pokemon. It starts off as a little Litwick, then becomes a Lampent. I think it is. And then
Litwick, Lampent, and Chandelure. Yep.
Yeah, Chandelure is awesome. Fire and ghost, literally a haunted chandelier. Yeah, that's it. That's definitely my choice. Yep.
He is cool. Litwick is just adorable.
Litwick is adorable. It's like, who's your favorite Pokemon? It's not Gen 1. Oh, I don't know. Chandelure? Yeah, that one!
Yeah, that's who I thought you were going to go with, but I was wondering if you would remember him.
No, yeah, I'm like immediately thinking, like, I was going back to like Gen 2 immediately. So that's what I was thinking of. I'm like, for Alligator, I think that's my favorite of the starters. I'm like, well, who else was in Gen 2? I'm like, can you say legendary, like Suicune or Suicune, however you pronounce it? I'm like, no, that's not fair. And then I wasn't even thinking, I wasn't even thinking past Gen 2. And then I remembered Joltik, so.
You're such a boomer. I say not Gen 1, and you're like Gen 2. The only possibility is Gen 2.
Well, that's when Pokemon was good. Pokemon was only good because I was a child, I suppose, now I think about it. Because the games are still designed for children. Dude, there needs to be a Pokemon hard mode. There really needs to be.
You should try the new game. Everyone says most people say it's really, really good. I'm yet to try it. I own it. I just got it the other day. I might start it today, actually. It's currently ready to be played and everything, but I was trying to finish up another game first. But as for me, my favorite non-Gen 1 Pokemon, my favorite Pokemon isn't Gen 1 to begin with, and that's Mimikyu. The little ghost Pikachu-looking guy. Long backstory with him. I think I've mentioned it before. I've mentioned it before on stream, I know I have, but he's basically a ghost Pokemon that if you see him, you die immediately, which is terrifying to begin with. And he's tired of people dying when they see him and being afraid of him, so he dressed up like Pikachu, and it's a really crude dress up. It's really kind of scary looking, and the reason he dresses up as Pikachu is because he knows that he sees that everybody else just loves Pikachu, and there's always these big signs around like, oh, everybody loves Pikachu, he's the mascot for Pokemon, and he himself just wants to be loved. So he dresses up as Pikachu so that he doesn't scare people and tries to be loved. But if you take off his little mask, you just die instantly. Nobody's ever seen underneath the mask. So
I really need to get one of those like 3-piece suits with the patches on the elbows and a fancy wooden pipe and some glasses that have the thing that holds them on the back of your head or whatever on your neck. You can take them down because I'm about to psychoanalyze everything here because Psychologist Joe is about to point out the fact that Justin's favorite Pokemon is this little adorable Pokemon that's afraid of being seen and just wants to be accepted, just wants to be loved.
I just think he has a cool backstory.
And just really wants everyone to enjoy him. So he dresses up and just tries to fit in by becoming like everyone else.
Name one other Pokemon with a backstory like that, or any interesting backstory at all. Go ahead.
Okay, so Bulbasaur is a frog dinosaur, and he's got a plant on his back.
Yeah, he has no backstory like that. He doesn't have one.
Well, he doesn't need one. He's the best Pokemon. He's literally number one in the Pokedex and number one in our hearts.
The only thing I don't like about Mimikyu is that if you actually think about it, it doesn't make sense that there's more than one in the Pokemon universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, so there's multiple of these little ghosts flying around that kill people by looking at them, and they all just decided to look like Pikachu?
Why can't people weaponize them? Like, all right, national television, big Super Bowl event, bam, Mimikyu on the screen, everyone's dead.
Pokemon would not work in the real world. Everyone would be dead.
Yeah. You imagine? We're talking about all the people that have kids when they shouldn't. Can you imagine people having Charmanders?
Yeah, just burning the place down.
Dude, these people can't even keep their dogs on a leash. Are you kidding me? You think they're gonna have a Squirtle run around? It's not just gonna be squirting water at everyone, or a Ponyta that's not gonna be setting all this shit on fire. No way, dude. I can't even take my dog for a walk around my neighborhood because everyone doesn't have their dogs on a leash, or if they do have their dogs on a leash, they still like break the leash and they come running over to us.
Yeah, people would not be good with Pokemon.
Or the good people could use their Pokemon to get rid of the people that are bad with Pokemon.
Yeah, you could be like the police officers in Pokemon. They all have Growliths.
Remember that meme about imagine you just walk through some tall grass and this guy pops out and pops you in the chest and it's a Hitmonchan? Well, you should have Hitmonchan just walk around, just going door to door. Raise your kids better! Pop, pop, pop. Buy a leash, they're not expensive! Pop, 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 pop.
Raise your kids better. No.
Dude, I was just thinking, man, I'd be a great king. I really would. I was thinking about this, like, literally when I was eating lunch before we came to record this. It randomly popped in my head. And this is something people should not Google because I refuse to look at it, too, because it's just fucking disgusting. But I randomly thought, like, whatever happened to those kids that a couple years ago made a video of them, like, basically torturing a deer that they shot that was still alive? You remember hearing? Whatever happened about that? Because if I'm king, those kids are dead. Like 100%.
Yeah, they're gone. People are like, no, they need
public. Fuck that! Public execution, pay-per-view, with all proceeds going to some wildlife foundation.
Yeah,
like fuck that, dude. Holy shit! Like,
my wife doesn't.
I'd roll with an iron fist. I'd roll with an iron fist.
My wife, she doesn't like that. She doesn't like when I say, oh, some people should just be dead. And she's like, you can't just say that. You can't just wish death upon people. I'm like, some people should just be dead.
There's some people that need a good killing, and those kids are definitely one of them. What about the ones that like were torturing the mentally handicapped guy or whatever? They took him like hostage or whatever, made a video on it on Facebook. Oh, they'd be dead. Dead.
Murder. Especially since I think they were all adults too. It's like there's no going up from there.
Yeah, we're going full blood sport with it though. Like their death will be on pay-per-view, and then all the proceeds from that pay-per-view we're going to go towards like some mental handicap charity. Yeah.
Hunger Games.
Literally, yes. There you go.
Okay, so this has gotten really far from what your favorite Gen 1 Pokemon is.
We go from Chandelore's kind of cool to like Hunger Games in real life.
Got kind of dark, actually.
Well, just imagine you're sitting there at home, snuggled up with your wife and your 2 dogs, and you guys are just watching the pay-per-view, and you're just like, ha! Look at them suffer.
Look at them suffer.
I'm just saying, old ways were better.
Stop. Last question is just for you, and it could be a pretty short answer, I assume. How long has this been going on for?
I don't know.
Oh, good. Glad you're keeping track. The last question is from I'm Arcrison. I think I'm saying that correctly, from Twitter. And he asks, Dear Nero, would you ever consider doing a Dear Nero episode with your girlfriend, Courtney?
Yes, but I don't know how the best way of going about it. My microphone like does not really do well with like two people trying to speak into the same mic. I think we would both just sound super far away. But I can maybe get it set up so she could be at her house with a old mic I have. Like I have like a Rode Podcaster that we can maybe, it's a USB microphone that we can maybe plug into like her laptop or something, and I can set up Audacity on there. And then she can record it, and I can show her how to get rid of the background noise, and then I can just take the audio like we're doing right here. We could maybe do that. I think that'd be
like a lot of work for she could just sit at my desk for 30 minutes and do the video.
Most of the time she'd be talking about your room like there's lights everywhere. It's pretty.
There's just lights everywhere. God, it's disgusting in here. Why is he never clean?
No, she's seen my office. It's a problem. I just need like one of those like 15-foot long desks so I can dedicate about 8 feet to empty water bottles. And
that's not the solution.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't it be? You just need more desk space. So then everything in front of the computer could just be clean.
Have you heard of a trash can?
Yeah, but it's full.
I don't see a possible fix for that. I don't know what you do with a full trash can.
Yeah,
trash cans are flawed. What do? You fill them up and then what?
There's limited space in trash cans. This desk, however, is like another trash can that has a bunch of extra space.
You fill them up and then what? What do you do? I mean, what's the point of trash cans? The world's flawed.
Oh, I could go on and on about how the world's flawed. But yeah, trash cans are flawed. In fact, I want something like I have like an old 90s Nickelodeon show. I want like a tube right next to my desk that I could just put the water bottle in and it goes boop, and then it just takes out to recycling out in the garage. That's what I want.
So make one.
I don't
sure
think
they exist.
There's no way there is like a 50-foot long tube that's like electric powered, so it actually goes whoop, like when you go to those like drive-through banks where you have to put the money or the check or whatever into the tube and then it sucks on up in the air.
Yeah, they exist, so just find one and get it installed.
I'm gonna need a lot more Twitch Prime subs if we're gonna be trying to figure this out. Like, I can't even get air conditioning in my office right now, let alone a suction tube to get my water bottles into the recycling.
Now, this just came to me. This actually just came to me. Holy shit.
Right.
What if you emptied the garbage can?
And put it where?
Okay. Hear me out. Is there a trash bag in the garbage can?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I could be wrong. I'm spitballing here. I'm just completely talking out my ass. I think you can lift the trash bag out of the can, right?
Okay.
And then there's like these things on it, these little strings usually. You tie those together so that the bag is closed.
Right.
And then you take that downstairs, that closed bag.
Okay.
And you take it outside to your recycling.
Outside again? I'm writing this down. So take it outside to my recycling.
Yeah, to the recycling. And then I think there's like once a week these weird dudes at like... You ever been woken up at like 6 a.m. by like a loud noise?
No.
Okay.
But I haven't woken up at like 4 a.m. because that's when this big loud truck sometimes comes by.
Yeah. The big loud truck. So what I think they're doing for whatever reason, they go to house and they pick up they pick up trash. I don't understand why. I don't know what the point of it is or where the trash is going, but they do that.
Now allow me just to poke some holes here in your little plan, your little theory here for a second. Even if I were willing to empty out my office trash can thing here and take it to the quote-unquote recycling, garbage night's on Tuesday. Today's Wednesday, and I slept through garbage night last night because my sleep schedule's awful and everything like that. So my garbage cans are full out in the garage, and I have to wait till next Tuesday for them to be emptied. Then I can take the garbage.
Why didn't you take out your garbage the night you slept through it?
I was asleep, yeah.
That's not how that works. You could literally take out your garbage the day before.
No, then he's got garbage sitting out in the curb. That's just tacky.
Yeah, for like an extra couple hours. Who cares? That's the point. You take it out when you can. I take mine out before I go to work at 3 o'clock.
Nah, that's silly.
You have problems. They're not even going to take all your garbage. They're just going to look at it and go, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Lots and lots.
Lots and lots. Well, that's the end of the questions. We could sit here for another hour and a half podcasting if you'd like.
I think people would enjoy that.
I don't think they would. They don't like us.
People adore me. They find me infinitely interesting, but you, I think they find you okay.
Some people say I'm the better brother.
Yeah, those people would be wrong. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of Dear Nero. Justin, a pleasure as always.
You don't mean that.
Any parting words? Any words of wisdom?
Don't do drugs.
They're horrible for you. Also, use code NerosCinema in the Fortnite shop, I think you were going to say. And you can also become a channel member here on the channel if you guys would like to do that as well. That's definitely a possibility. And check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/NerosCinema. That's all for this week's episode. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope you guys all
have a wonderful day. I did it. I said it.